Well, it must be the top of the hour. It must be the Worldwide Woodturners wood turning program.
Mine
So
says 12.
you're you're looking for Worldwide Woodturners. You found
Hey,
it.
Paul.
Hey, Paul. Good to see you.
So we got a pretty good evening planned for tonight. We're gonna do a little bit of gallery. We got a good demo after the gallery. We're gonna have a little bit of safety suit. Um, and we're gonna catch up first on gallery from those that were on the list from last week. So hopefully the ones that didn't get their name called last week are already into the program now. We'll be getting to you shortly. And with that, I'm going to flip it over to Billy. He's got something to share.
I do. First thing I'm going to do is mute everybody because what I'm about to say, wait a minute. I need to be spotlighted. Thank you. I'm going to mute everybody because what I have to say is not up for discussion or debate. The board met last night, and unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, let me let Sue in. It's been decided that we needed to reduce the number of co-hosts so things didn't get out of hand. I'm not saying anybody's done anything wrong or bad. It's just one of those things where something we needed to take care of. So the co-hosts will only be me, Scott, and Dane and Matt, he's a host, but Dane is. Matt will remain a co-host because he takes care of the gallery stuff. Not Joe, Gary and Dave have been given rights to record, so they don't need to be co-hosts anymore. And that's pretty much the way that's going to go. So this lets us clean things up. It reduces I'm hoping it reduces accidents is what I'm hoping. We've had some accidental things happen, and again, not pointing fingers at anybody because I've made some mistakes my own self. It's just that's the way we're going to do it. I think housekeeping wise, it makes for a cleaner situation, and so that's the way things are going to run from here on out. In the circumstances or in such circumstances that myself or Scott can't be here, Patrick will be co-host in our stead. Other than that, we're going to keep it at 3. So now I will turn the floor back over to Dane. And
Sounds good.
one more thing. For the after hours crowd, I will have another announcement during right after we start the after hours. But other than that, I'm done.
Very good. Thank you, Billy. All right. So with that, let's get into some gallery and see what everybody's been turning the last week. What we got, Matt?
I'm muted. We're going to start with JJ because he was the first one. Why don't I have ability to? His camera's off. That's why. Hey, JJ, turn your camera on. There it is. Spotlight for everyone. Go, JJ.
Oh, go to someone else. I don't have the piece in front of me. I'll go grab it.
Okay.
So take me next.
All right. Then that's going to be Jim Duxbury. Hey, Jim.
That's me. Yeah.
Yep.
I made another spiral illusion.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
This is two-sided. You can see the taper so that it's dark on one side, tapers to light on the other side. And light on one side, tapers to dark on the other side.
Very cool.
And I made a hickory bowl. It's the next thing to a piece. It's the mat, but anyway.
Ooh.
The grain is beautiful.
Just hickory.
Nice. Very nice, Jim. Very nice.
And I made this is a reverse turned full. I turned in 4 segments.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Show that
Beautiful.
up again.
That's really cool.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
is that 2 pieces? That's 4 pieces.
4 pieces.
Yes.
Four pieces. Then you flip the, oh wow. Where do you
Rita
come up
did
with these ideas?
in the morning, early in the morning. Rita did the burning, did all cup burns, and she's been an hour doing that.
Is that inside out turning there?
Yeah, same thing, yeah.
You could
Which-
call
which
it that,
come
yeah.
You come up with that when you can't sleep at night.
Yeah,
Which
Right.
cup burr was used? Which cup burr, Jim?
cup burr is, which one you mean?
Yeah, which style? Did you use the ones from Rio Grande or did you use the Manpa?
Rio Grande.
All right, thank you.
And I take the teeth off the side of them,
Okay.
so they don't cut, they burn. So
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, again, Jim. Okay, so you started off making a round bowl, and then you cut it, right? Or did you have 4? Did you have 4 pieces? And you glued for? No, you didn't.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
made a
4
bowl
pieces.
first,
You have 4 pieces first, and you turn the outside round.
right?
Then you split them apart. You turn the outside round. This would be square. You would turn from here in to the corner, which is actually from
Which
here
would be
into
that
this
piece, right? Would
corner.
be that piece there, correct?
Yeah. And then when you get that all done and sanded, then you split them apart. It's done with the brown paper and the school glue. Split them apart, flip them over, and then turn the outside, or turn the outside around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
beautiful.
And again, you didn't make a complete bowl. You turned the outside round, then you turned the inside and made like a bowl inside of that, right? And that's what gave you.
You turn
Yep.
from here to the corner.
Right.
I also got a little video. Do you want to see a video?
Yeah.
I think I can do a share. And I need some sound. This is my turbine. I hope Brent's on there. Welcome
That's right.
to the world of turbines on tail storms. We do a lot of drilling around here. A lot of drilling. Birdhouses.
That looks like they're on video, Jim.
And this quill goes in and out, 5 inches, many, many times, all the way back 5 inches. You turn these things hundreds of times. And years ago, I got tired of doing that, and I made a little plywood disc, about 6 inches in diameter with some scallops in it, and it worked pretty good. You hit the top, and it blew it this way to go out. You can't drill with it going out. Turbines are made for high speed and not much torque, not much pressure. But to retract them, it's a godsend. It really worked great. And I thought it was great. But through the miracles of Zoom, good friends, AI, 3D printing, I now have a 7-inch turbine that's well designed, 12 fins in it, and this thing really works. This is 125 pounds air pressure, and to run this out, all you do is put the thing on the top. You're not supposed to go over, it runs best between 6,000 and 8,000 RPM. You don't know how many cranks at it. You want to see it again? I'm going to keep running.
Wish mine did that.
Keep it in a little bit.
We're gonna keep fighting some of those.
Drilling's a breeze. Anyway, you got to watch you don't run it too fast going in because it can jam up pretty bad.
You know that from experience?
Yeah, you learn that the hard way. Going out's no problem. Going in is a bit of
Very
Cool.
cool, Jim. Thank you very much.
I thought you were gonna show a video of that bowl.
No.
That's what I thought. Now, the very first piece that you showed, Jim, how did you hold that on both sides?
This piece?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
This was square. And I put screws in here, screws in here, into a flat faceplate. And that lets you offset it. This is a 1-inch circle. It's offset 1/4 inch this way on this side, and 1/4 inch the other way on the other side. So
Right.
that's a 1/2 inch. So this bar goes right through the center of that circle.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can see it.
And that also makes them suspend each other. These are a 1/2 inch on center, so that then each one of these suspends the other ones.
Very cool.
But by
It
doing
is. It is. I mean,
screws, by doing
you're
screws into
actually-
here into a flat faceplate, you can index this anywhere you want to go.
My God.
Very cool, Jim.
Really, really. Thanks, Jim.
Okay. Next up is Joaquin. Hey, Joaquin.
All righty. So I was playing with the Square Challenge, and this was one of my Square Challenge pieces last week, and it's just a little pecan. And I was trying to kind of make it look like a plum, and then I decided it was boring because this is really nice pecan, but it's just real straight grain. So I gave it a little texture and a little color, and you can't really see it, but there's an iridescent turquoise embellishing wax in the grooves of the texture, and then the square part comes in the little pagoda lid, which is just a piece of walnut.
Very
So-
cool.
Nice.
Very, very.
Beautiful.
Pretty,
That is
very
great.
pretty.
I love that lid.
And it is now home to 3D printed miniature coffee mugs. I didn't.
Oh my goodness.
This got confiscated immediately, and so literally I showed it to the wife, and she said, "Oh, mine," and so it was confiscated immediately. That being said, I have more square pictures already laid out in the next newsletter because people make a lot of pieces, and that's great. And when you send me more than one picture of more than one piece, I try to space them out and get them. I try to use them. So don't stop sending in pictures. We need more pictures for the newsletter. Don't stop sending in square. I'm working with another idea for a square piece. That was a great challenge, and it's got the brain cooking. And then Jim just showed that bowl, which is, Jim, the coolest M&M dish ever. So now that idea is cooking because that started out as a square, and you can still see the square. I think that fits with Doug's challenge. So don't stop sending in pictures. And I think I have an idea that we're going to have some more challenges. So please.
Yep, I'm going to be announcing August's challenge at the top of the hour.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's fun. Look, that's a fun thing we can do. And what I really like about it, as the person who collates all our photos and puts them all into the newsletter, and don't take this the wrong way, please don't. But as a club, we've kind of gotten a little stale. And the first thing that I thought with the Square Challenge was, oh cow, look at all these cool new ideas we're going to put in the newsletter. And they're there. And that's awesome. And there's nothing, I'm not saying everybody's work is boring. I'm just saying we're seeing a lot of the same things, which is fine. And we're seeing some very beautiful and artistic things. But part of the reason why we're doing things like Level Up is to challenge each other to improve and to grow and to reach for more and to explore different ways we can use the lathe and different things we can do on the lathe. So I'm excited for the challenges because
Go
it's
outside our boundaries. Get
Exactly.
outside
It's
of our
making us push.
outside of our norm.
Exactly. And that's reflected in this newsletter. And I'd love to see each successive newsletter as we go through the rest of the year with just more adventurous pieces, with more turners stepping out of their comfort zone and experimenting and wild techniques that we learned from Jim and from our demonstrators and you know, the crazy. I mean, I'm using the paper bag glue up lost wood technique right now after Scott Midori said, "Is this how you did it?" And I said, "No, I didn't even think about that." And I've actually been in Jim's shop and seen the glue ups and the pieces, and it didn't even occur to me. So yeah, please keep pushing the boundaries, keep pushing each other to grow and improve and change, because all of our artwork collectively is progressing when we do that. And it's exciting. I'm excited to see it in the newsletter. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's nice to see the growth of everybody. Yeah.
You betcha.
My only
See,
question
cool
about
stuff.
Jim's bowl being an M&M bowl is how do you keep the M&Ms from getting stuck in the corners?
Well,
Ah,
you have to leave them in there long enough for them to get stuck, Billy.
You need pointed ones.
Don't let them out in the heat. Yeah.
Yeah, don't put it out in the heat.
By the peanut M&Ms, they won't get stuck.
There you go.
That's true.
Peanut M&Ms don't get stuck.
That's why
You
the
gotta
gods
eat
gave
'em.
us dental. That's why the gods gave us dental picks.
You need to be eating them.
Us fat boys eat them so fast they don't have time to get stuck.
There you go.
All right.
That's
Well,
all I
thanks,
got.
JJ.
You betcha. Now,
Uh,
next week, you guys will
next-
see my glue up results.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it. All right. Next, we're going to go to Bob Grinstead. Hey, Bob. Didn't mean to wake you up there.
Yeah,
Didn't
hey
mean to-
guys. All right, I just wanted to show the basket illusion I did.
Ooh,
wow.
That's
more
cool.
impressive.
That's
amazing.
nice.
It's,
Very nice.
Simply amazing.
It looks better in real person. I mean, it's like the deal doesn't show and the colors
Yeah.
don't.
Wow.
But,
I see it.
Oh, look at that. That's
That
It's
is
a
beautiful,
hell of an
Bob.
illusion. A hell of an illusion.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
beautiful, Bob.
well, thanks.
It is. So how
Took you a while, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it takes a while. That was, it's 16 panels, from every one of these little segments here is a panel. So it's 16 of those and at 192, and it took probably 7.5 hours just to draw the lines.
Yeah, I
burn
bet.
front and back. So, but anyway, it took a while, but I enjoyed doing it, and I did learn. I've done this before, but I had just not a vase, but it was like two bowls put together, like a hollow form,
Mm-hmm.
and it's smaller, and that I think turned out better. When you get out, this is like 11.5 inches in diameter here, and when you get out to here at 192, well, these little segments are now like 3/16, which are getting kind of big. But then you drop back in, if you're sitting here at, I think this is probably 6 inches or something, or maybe 7 across here. And at 192, that's too close together. I should have dropped it down. I kept it at 192 all the way in, and I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I did it anyway. I just think it makes for a too clouded, I guess, design.
Too tight.
Yeah, too tight. I
Did
should have cut it in
did you have a
half when I started
platform?
getting in here.
Did
It's
you have
beautiful.
a platform? Did you have a platform? You had that on your chuck, and you had a platform for each line.
Yes,
Each. Is that how you did it?
Yeah, I had an index wheel behind the chuck, and 192 holes in it,
Yeah.
and indexed every one of them, and had a platform out here, and they burned them with with a burner, both inside and out. So you actually got a platform that sits around this thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And then you
Cool.
can burn both sides at the same time, and then move it in one, and then burn it again.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Spectacular, Bob.
Cool
Very
jig.
beautiful.
You're not kidding.
All right. Well, thanks. That's
Great,
it.
very nice piece,
That's
Bob.
all I got. I did a Molly Winton's burn here on the bottom. I didn't. I
Yeah.
thought, well, I'm tired of doing these, so then I decided I'd just do a Molly Winton here for a little while and some other little pattern. And
Yeah.
this is that Josana paint, iridescent paint.
Mm-hmm.
This section
Looks good.
Looks great.
All right, but that's
Yeah.
it. That's all I got, guys.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Molly's
that's a
basket
great
weave stuff
piece.
is cool.
Right.
Yeah, her basket weave is great. Somebody told me she got sick over that smoke, so
Yep,
you got to watch it.
that's what I heard.
Don't
Gotta have
take it
good
to that
ventilation.
$300 place that Dewey takes his to. Don't take it to that
Yeah.
$300 place.
Hey, I don't know, man. I got a lot of hours here. I probably have 20 hours at least, maybe more.
Wow.
All that piece would have to be over $1,000.
Yeah, I would say
the painting.
2,500. I would
The-
say
the
2,500.
And
Yeah.
a lot of different
I would
paintings.
say that too.
There's a lot of time in these,
Fantastic.
It's
Very good.
spectacular.
Very, very,
Thank you,
very
Bob.
nice piece, Bob.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's
guys.
really, Bob. Really.
That's
Really.
so cool.
Thank you, Bob.
Oh, I think Howard too. Howard's the one that told me that the red to get because I like the red that shows up better. Some
Yeah.
of that red's not
Yeah,
very
it
red.
makes it pop. It
This
makes it
one.
pop.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So what
Yeah.
red is it?
It's that dark crimson, I think is what it's called. It's on the Facebook page. I put the number on there, but
Okay. Very
scarlet.
cool.
Maybe it's scarlet red. But anyway, it's a real bright red.
Very
compared to
cool.
the others anyway. All right, thanks, guys.
It does show up nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Bob.
Okay, thanks.
Next up is Roger the Angry. Hey, Roger.
Hey guys, I just wanted to real quick show my entry into the square challenge. And
Oh my God.
That's cool.
Mm.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That one's so you can sort your M&Ms.
yeah, you can put green ones go here and the red ones there.
Yeah.
And then you have to eat all the W's, right?
Or you can do,
Yeah.
you put jewelry in it, I guess.
Sure. I see
Oh,
that's
that's
why
cool.
you carved the middle, right? All the way to make that point there.
Yeah. I don't know if it's showing up correctly there, but it comes to a
Really
point
cool.
there.
What did you check it with?
I actually glue a sacrificial block onto the back of it,
Okay.
and I use woodworm screws in 3 spots.
Okay.
And then
Very cool.
You remove that off there, and then after I got done with that one, I got some friends that they love to go down there to Disney, and I end up with another move.
Oh, my word.
That's cute.
I like that one.
Copyright,
Yeah,
of course.
There is no
That's
question
pretty
what
cool.
that is.
That's
None.
cool figuring of where you put your like you said your screw. I mean, that's pretty good figuring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I make the block the same size as this, so you can determine on the backside exactly where it's going to go. And then when I got done with it, I just took it on the bandsaw and just cut the entire block off, then sanded it in.
What do you use to glue it with?
These were done with tight bond. Yeah, I tight bonded it on the back of it and just cut it off.
Yeah, you don't want it coming off.
No.
No.
No, you don't. Can you imagine that thing spinning on 2 of those
Yes.
ears? My goodness.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I've been there.
My goodness.
Yeah, what speed were you turning in?
I think it didn't get up over 500.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you didn't go down to 2, so that's good.
No. I think it was roughly around 400. I think is what it finished out.
Yeah.
at.
Is that walnut?
Yeah, it's just black walnut.
Uh-huh.
Some of that air dried, so it's going to stay nice and dark. I like the finish on it. So
Yeah, it looks real good.
Very cool, Roger.
Color.
Thanks very much. Nice work.
All right.
Next up is Jason Coate. Hey, Jason, what you got for us?
Hey, good evening. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good.
Thanks. You?
So I had a 3-day weekend and I actually made it into my shop each of the 3 days. So I did a bowl a day. So Friday was a white oak bowl. It's about 11 and a quarter inches in diameter and about 3 inches high. So
Nice.
that one's more of the bug infested white oak, but it's got nice character. I like it. Just a boiled linseed oil finish. My finish
Very
of
nice.
choice. So on Saturday, I'm not sure what wood this is. I thought it was maple. It was white as could be. There's no finish on this yet. It's sanded just to like 600, but it turned this light brown color over about a day. And it's not from the same tree that I thought it was from, because my Sunday bowl is the maple and it didn't change color at all. So, and that's this one here. So it stayed nice and light like I expected.
Could it be something like Bradford pear?
I don't think it's.
I don't believe it's Bradford pear, but I'm not sure what it is. But it definitely
show me
was
the grain.
this color.
Show me the grain a little bit better there.
Possibly heck.
Pull it back just a little.
Pull it back towards yourself. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Or beech with those flecks in it.
Possibly
Cool.
hackberry.
Yeah, it didn't feel like beech when I was turning it, but I suppose it'd be. It didn't. I don't believe it was beech, but I suppose it's possible.
It doesn't look
But anyway,
like
it came out nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good form.
that's not beach. Doesn't look like beach.
All
That's
right.
what I had for my weekend.
Very
Good
nice.
job, Jason.
Nice.
Very nice.
Great.
Yeah.
Well done.
you.
That's a nice piece too. Very nice, Jason.
Yeah, thank
Nice
you. Yeah, I
weekend,
like
man.
this one. I didn't even get this one onto Facebook before a friend of mine from growing up and in college called and said, "Can I have that bowl?"
Yeah.
Love it.
I don't know, Rob. It's not green enough to be popular.
No.
All right. So next up is Dennis Morgan. Hey, Dennis.
Hey, everybody. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stay tonight because I'm a little under the weather and I've got some stuff going on. But anyway, so here's my square, well, one of the two, my square,
Cool.
Nice.
That looks good.
Nice
8
pattern.
by 8.
pretty.
That's excellent. Yep.
It came out nice.
Sure did.
Right?
Yes.
Really
I love
sharp.
that pedestal.
Very nice.
That's that one.
Proportions are great.
And so I was turning the second one and I said, I got to do something a little different and do something unique.
Oh wow.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
It's a nice
That
idea.
Very
came
nice.
out neat.
Got some texturing. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
Wow.
Well,
That came out great.
yeah. And
Nailed
then,
those points.
thank you. Yeah, it worked out well. This is a little hard maple bowl I did today.
Cool.
Not that big, but
You're
Yeah.
doing great with the spiraling tool.
well, I'm learning as I go. I got to get better cuts so they're not as jagged, if you will. So I got to keep playing with that. But I'm working on. I got the center. If you can see it,
Yeah.
just a little bit. So anyway, like I said, I hate to go because I know I got a good night tonight, but appreciate it. So
Well,
Have a
hope
good
you
day.
feel
Very
better,
cool.
Dennis.
all right, thank
Feel
you.
better.
Take care.
Yeah.
All right,
Feel better.
good.
See you later.
Okay, bye.
All right. Next up, we're going to go to Paul Hannaby. Hey, Paul.
Oh,
Hello, Paul.
long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while. Been busy with one thing and another, but yeah. Yeah, I've got a few bowls to show you. Just a few.
Nice.
We'll start off with some coloured ones. This one, it's sycamore plain on the inside. The outside is an acrylic gesso texture and then airbrush acrylic paints on the outside. That was a blue and yellow, and where the two have blended, it's got a bit of green. So that's just two colours on there.
That almost
That looks
looks
good.
like, from the outside, that looks like ceramic or something.
Yeah, I mean, that was my original intention with it. I'm making these for quite a long time, but that was my original sort of what I was aiming to do, to make it look like ceramic. But yeah, the gesso allows you to give it that sort of ceramic texture.
I love that ceramic texture. It's nicely done, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, that was just done with a brush. You just use a stiff brush and turn the lathe slow and just drag the brush across it. Turning the lathe slow is the important bit, or you end up with a white stripe down your smock. Don't ask me how I know that one. Once I forgot to turn the speed down. Another one, similar technique, different colours.
That one's cool.
Sycamore. This one's yellow, orange, and just a hint of purple on the edges.
That looks great.
Exactly.
Another one here. This one's beach. Quite nice figuring in the beach, actually.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
Could have left it plain, but that's blue and red.
Oh,
and if you get the colouring on that right, it almost looks like it's on fire. So I quite like that one.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Those are all nice.
And then I've got another one here, which is red and yellow. This one's oak. Red and yellow. Different texture on this one. The camera's not picking it up too well, but this is more of what I would describe as a stipple texture. I'm just trying to move it to see if
we can see it a little bit. There it is.
Yep.
What colors do you use?
These are acrylics, probably golden or comart or something like that. I'm not exactly sure which reds it might be. Cinnamon red from memory, and yellow I can't remember.
Just
fancy yellow, maybe something like that.
Acrylic, just a sprayed acrylic.
Yes, acrylic airbrush paints. Yes.
And how did you do the stippling, Paul?
The base is an acrylic gesso, so I paint the gesso on there, and then the stipple originally it came from an accident. What I do with these, I mount it on a screw chuck. I'll turn the outside and colour it while it's on the screw chuck, but when I put the gesso on, it takes a good hour plus to dry, and usually I take it off, leave it for probably half a day, and then come back to it and do the colouring, or even come back the next day. So before I do the gesso, what I do is I loosen the blank on the screw chuck, so I can just get my fingers sort of top and bottom like that, and lift it off the lathe without having to touch the wet gesso. But once I was doing a demo at a trade show, and I was sort of talking to everybody and doing the demo, and I did the gesso and forgot to loosen the screw chuck. So I thought, now how am I going to get that off? I can't wait here for an hour or two, because I've obviously got to do something else to keep the crowds amused, so to speak. So what I did was put some kitchen tissue over the surface so I could grab it and loosen it on the screw chuck. And then when I'd loosened it and taken it off, I peeled off the kitchen tissue, and I thought, oh, that's quite a nice texture. And I just went over the whole thing and made it look like it was deliberate. That's how I do it. Just a bit of kitchen tissue or something like that. You just put it on, take it off, and keep doing that until it looks right. All I would say is don't get the stuff with the teddy bear patterns on it. You just want to sort of more of a random pattern.
Got it.
That was a happy little accident.
So you put down a layer of gesso before you put your paint on there, correct?
Yes, yeah. And you let the gesso dry, and then you put the paint on. But I'll show you another one in a sec. This one's the simple brush texture, a pinkish red and a light blue. Again, sort of sunset colours is where this one's coming from. And that one is actually made out of pine.
Oh, wow.
So that was another one of that. And the last one of that series, this one, again, it's beach with some quite nice sort of colouring and things going on the beach, but I've put colour on the outside anyway. This one is, again, acrylic gesso texture. You can see the stipple on that better, actually.
Yes, yes, you can.
The red's not flooding the camera, so that one's better. But so you've got the stipple on that, and then these are Createx pearlescent paints. Again, airbrush paints, but they're a little bit thicker, so you just want a bigger nozzle. And I've done a purple and a green, and they're quite in-your-face colours on this. But what I've also done with this is, after the colours have dried, I've just sanded it very lightly with 400 grit, 600 grit, and just taken the colour off the peaks of the texture,
Yeah, I can see that.
and then just sprayed over it all again with the green. So rather than having the white texture sticking out, the bits that were right have sort of, because it's obviously white, it takes the green and changes quicker. But so the purple is still purple, even though it's had a very light overspray of the green. But the white highlights of the texture have now gone green rather than just being white. So it's sort of drawn the green into the purple more, if you see what I mean. So it's
Yeah, very cool.
it's
Very cool idea.
Cool effect.
more of a sort of a blend of the two in a way. But yeah, I quite like doing that effect. And I mean, you can do all sorts of other textures. I mean, bubble wrap, you can use like the tiles as adhesive spreaders. I'll use an afro comb on it sometimes just to put deeper grooves in it. And I've got no other use for an afro comb, so I just use it on my bowls.
Yeah, you can use like saran wrap and tinfoil and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah, anything like that. Yeah, the sky's the limit really. Whatever you can imagine to do textures with, yeah, go for it. Yeah, so it's all good. And if you don't like it, you just turn it off and try again.
Yeah, right.
So because always at the point I'm doing the colouring, the bowl is solid and it's on a screw chuck. So if it doesn't work out, like I say, turn it off and do it again. I mean, the gesso's quite abrasive, so it does take the edge off your tools, but yeah, you can get it off, so it's not too bad.
Well, that's interesting. Putting
So that's
gesso.
all of those. I've got a few other bowls to show you as well. This one is oak. The outside was ebonized with the vinegar wire wool solution that you're probably familiar with. There's a bit of sapwood there which has actually ebonized less, but you can see there that picks up the green. After I'd ebonized it, I sealed it and did an acrylic green grain fill, just using the acrylic colours in the tube. You put it on and then you take it off with a damp cloth. So you do your base colour or ebonize it as I did with this one. Then you do a sanding sealer or something like that to seal the surface. And then you do a grain fill, and then once you've done that, you put it into sort of get the colours into the grain and then take it off the surface. And with the acrylic colours, I'll just take it off with a damp cloth. And you've got to work quite quick. Acrylics dry quite quick, so you've got to try and get it off the surface before it's dried, but still leave it in. But so I just work on maybe a bowl that size, a third or a quarter of it at a time, until you've got round the whole thing. And I think it gives quite a nice contrast between the wood and the grain, and it sort of picks up the grain a bit. And I mean, this one's green, but I use red and yellow, and sometimes the metallics, like the metallic waxes and things like that, are actually easier to apply because you can put that on and just a bit of pressure and a bit of heat will lift the wax off the surface. So they're easier to do. But I quite like using the acrylic paints because you've got like no end of colours, and you've got the whole spectrum of colours that you can get paints in then, and you can always mix them if you don't find the one you like. So quite a wide range of colours available for that. So that's that one. Moving on again. I didn't know you were doing squares, but I just happened to have that one.
Yeah.
Which is steam pear.
That'll do.
Just a small bowl I did. Well, it started life at a club demo at my own club a couple of months back. And just a very small bowl, and I was just showing them how to do things out of squares. In fact, the theme of my demo was squares. I did this. I did a bowl from a cube, and I did some dice as well, turning dice on a spindle. So that was the three main things, plus a little bit of skew work doing coves and doing pommels and things like that on squares. So that was the other part of that particular demo. Couple more bowls, I'm nearly there. That one is Spalted Beech with some quite nice colour in it. It's only a little bowl.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
It
it's
was a little
pretty
bit soft in places, but it's just some really nice colour in it. So I thought, well, I'll try and revive it. You can see just there. I'll put it around the front. Just there, the rims dipped slightly because I sanded it a bit heavily there, and it was a bit soft. But I thought, shall I cut it flat again? I thought, no, I'll just leave it actually. So
yeah, that adds character.
Yeah,
very cool.
But yeah, I've got a couple more bits of this wood, so I'm looking forward to turning the rest of it.
Oh,
really
beautiful.
Really nice colouring in it. And the last one is this one, which is burnt oak. And on the outside, I've done an art Leesman on it. It's been scorched brushed and then limed. So
Wow.
you scorch it and brush it to bring out the texture of the burr, and then lime in wax or a metallic wax or whatever you want really to
I almost see a
pick up the
trilobite
texture.
fossil over there.
Yeah. Reptile skin. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's really
See,
sort of
there's
picked out
trilobite.
that the scorching
Yeah.
has really picked out that texture. Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
quite like that. Quite like that.
Oh,
technique.
very
It's,
cool. Very cool.
interesting
I love
technique.
how scorching brings out the grain patterns. Beautiful.
Yeah. It's a messy process.
Yeah.
But,
that it
Yeah, it
is.
is.
it looks good when it's done.
Black dust everywhere. Been there.
Yep.
That's all I've got for you.
Well, you made
Thank you
a
very
lot of wood. You made a lot of wood look a lot different. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Really
work, Paul. Thank you for
Really?
showing.
Really,
Cheers.
really pretty.
Thanks very much, Paul. I really
Thanks a lot.
appreciate it. Okay,
Anytime.
next up is Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Hey there, how is everybody?
Yes.
So
Hey, Jeff.
late last year, if you remember, I showed you a bowl I called my favorite failure. It was a Papa 1947 project he sent me, and it blew apart on me. So I finished what I had, and it came out really nice. Well, I've been working on this segmenting project for the upcoming show, and I got halfway done, and I was putting the next ring on. It's a segmented project, and it wouldn't line up. Not for the life of me. I don't know why. So I took it off. I was mad. I stuck it on the shelf and continued making pens. So I decided I was just going to finish off what I had, and this is it.
Wow, beautiful.
Oh, nice.
120 segments, cherry and maple, and
And you're no longer
it
mad.
came out very nice.
Yes, it
And I'm
did.
working on the full size one again. I figured out what the problem was. I can't explain how it happened, but between finishing a pen and getting this onto the lathe and gluing the rings on, my headstock got turned a quarter of an inch. Don't know how that happened because it's been locked down for years. So I got everything lined up again. I've got the first 5 rings remade with a new base on it. And tomorrow I put on the 6th ring to see how it lines up. And we'll see if I get a full one out of it or not.
Nice.
Good.
Wow.
So, and JJ, I sent you the picture about 5 minutes ago. So that's it.
Very
That's all
cool.
for this week.
Nice
I got
stuff,
it. Thank
Jeff.
you.
Nice work.
Nice stuff, Jeff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next up is Ron Vincent. Hey, Ron.
Hey there. Hope everybody's doing well today.
Doing good.
This is the stuff you've seen, Matt, at the Grand Rapids. It's an offset bowl, and then
Oh, yeah.
it's cup burning and a little bit of coloring, just a little bit.
Wow. Very nice.
Beautiful.
It's just a piece of maple. And the other one is because it was a combination, people are doing the segments and doing the basket weave. This is all oak except the top ring, which is zebra wood. So I made the basket weave by cutting the oak different directions, and using it as actually as spacers
Nice.
in between the rings. So
Very cool.
That's
Beautiful.
cool. I like that.
the bottom's
Yeah.
a solid piece of oak, and so it's a basket weave without all the hassles.
Yes.
Different hassles.
Yeah, it had its own hassles.
But with different hassles. Different hassles.
Looks great.
Thank you.
That is
Fantastic
also
work.
good.
Beautiful work, Ron.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Matt. You bet.
Next up is Patrick. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, everybody.
Say, Pat.
Turn another piece of swig gum.
Swig 'em.
Nice little bowl.
Beautiful.
Texture the bottom a little bit.
Because why not? Because you can.
Because you can. And I turned another square box.
Oh.
Oh, that's cool.
That's so
That's
fun.
nifty.
Nice
Oh,
work.
wow.
And the bottom of it, I kind of hollowed out so it sits on 4 feet.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Wow.
That's the
Wow.
Very nice.
inside.
Lot more texture.
But that was
fun little project, something
Yeah.
little bit different.
So is it square and you oblong the holes in the side, or did
Yes.
when you hollowed it out, you come through some of it, or what?
Yeah, I mean it's square, and you turn till you come through the sides of it. Then you had to clean it up. I mean, you can't turn it to a perfect shape on all four sides. So I took the micromotor with a sanding drum on it and just cleaned it up.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah. That is too cool.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of projects in the works, but I can't show them yet. Maybe next week.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty. So it sits on all four corners. So it sits on the four corners. It doesn't sit flat.
Right. The bottom was kind of hollowed out a little bit. So I mean you can
concave. Yeah.
Yeah, it's concaved, and it sits on 4 feet.
Really elegant.
That's a great idea and great piece.
Very elegant.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
But that's all I've done this week. So
you've been busy.
Wow. Slacking off.
Yeah,
Slacking.
Pat.
Two pieces.
Beautiful, Pete. Pat, thank you. Thank you very much, Pat.
Thank you.
Beautiful stuff, Patrick.
We're going to go to Dewey next. Hey, Dewey.
Okay, I just want to show you what I've been working on this week. This is plaque blanks. I got 21 of them. They're plaque blanks. Plaque
nice.
blanks. I've got 21 of them. 7 of them are going to go to people that's already ordered. So that means I've got 14 more that needs to order. So please, if you can, order so I don't have to turn these into frisbees.
Put my name on one. Put my name on one.
And all the proceeds.
You have one
all
more.
the proceeds go to Worldwide Woodturners.
What you do is you make a donation, and Dane will then give me the names. So if you know, I don't take names until Dane emails them to me.
Right. I'll have a name to send to you in the morning.
Okay.
And I'll
sounds
post
great.
the donation, and I'll post the donation link again here in the meeting during the demo.
Okay.
Thank you once again for doing this.
Yeah.
What
I do is I tape them. I'm not going to do anything to them until I get all the orders in, and then I'll go ahead and make them.
Right.
And that way I can set up a production line and just go through spraying and
Right.
everything. So
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So anyway,
Hey, Dewey,
please
is
make
there
your
a link
donation.
on our? Is there a link on our website to make that donation?
Yes, it's under donate on the main webpage.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyway.
Okay,
You
very
bet.
cool. Thank you, Dewey.
You betcha.
Next up is Bambi and Steve. Hey, Bambi. Hey, Steve.
Woo! He was relaxing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. I've got just a little poplar bowl I made a couple of years ago, and when we moved, the edges got chipped. So instead of putting it back on the lathe to fix it, I decided to play with the outside of it and practice my wood burning. I turned it into a sunflower.
Ooh.
Oh, that's nice.
That's too cool.
Yeah, I
that
like
came
that.
out great.
Wow.
Yeah,
I love it. I love
I
it.
just kind of drew it on with pencil, and then I just went over it and burned it. Just to kind of play. Yeah, I wanted to
You did
practice.
that all by hand? You did it all by
Yeah, I
hand?
drew it all by hand. Yep.
Very creative.
That is. I like that.
Thank you.
My God.
Yeah,
That came out cool.
thanks.
I like it.
How did you come up with the idea for the leaves?
Just looking at a sunflower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just looked up an actual picture of a sunflower and just kind of
Well,
drew the leaves.
how'd you get the idea for the sunflower?
I don't know. I was just looking at the bowl and it just kind of came to me.
Okay.
I wonder if I could turn it into a flower, and so that's what I did.
Have you thought about doing that on the inside of a bowl?
I thought about the inside and I thought, gosh, I think I might be kind of cool doing it on the outside. So that's what I did.
Why not both?
Yeah, I could, yeah.
I like it on the outside.
Make it
That way,
It looks great. Looks great. Yep.
I like it the way it is. I like it the way
I thought it was
Yep.
kind of surprising because you wouldn't expect it when you pick it up and look.
Right. And everybody picks them up and looks.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great surprise. Yep.
Yeah.
Make another bowl and put the sunflower on the inside.
Yeah, on the inside. Okay, I can do that.
There you go.
Okay,
Like
Steve's
it.
turn.
Steve, come on down.
Need your pens.
Oh,
You're the next contestant on The Gallery is Right.
Okay, I made, well, my uncle passed away, and he's my last remaining of all my aunts and uncles. He passed away in March. He was a big time hunter. And starting about 1960, him and my Uncle George, some cousins and stuff, would go out to Colorado hunting mule deer. Unfortunately, being the youngest of the youngest, I never got to go. But he's got a pile of racks over there, and I'm assuming this was probably from the first or second year he went out because it was a smallish type rack. All the rest of them were much larger. But these are Gatsby pens from PSI.
The colors match.
The barrels are mule deer antler.
Nice.
It's just antler is, I don't know if anybody's ever worked with it.
Thanks.
But it's very porous.
Yep.
So I turned them down close, then stood them on end and covered the end of the barrels with black cyanoacrylate and did that till it wouldn't absorb any more through the ends. Did it on both ends. Then I turned them down just a touch more and then coated the entire thing with black cyanoacrylate. Then I finished turning them and sanded them off and finished them with a clear cyanoacrylate finish. And that's where the color comes from. It's the only way I could think of to easily stabilize them.
Yeah, I like how you did the coloring on it with black.
Yeah.
I never thought about that with antler. That's great.
Yeah, it's just black cyanoacrylate, and they come out really
Right.
well. I wasn't sure how it would work out. So one of these is mine, one of these is my brother's, and one of them is my cousin Mark. My uncle didn't have any kids, so I don't have anyone of his kids to give them to, but that's one for his 3 remaining nephews.
Right.
Very cool.
What a great project.
Very
Way
cool.
to remember him.
Cool, Steve.
When you turn something like that, is there a smell?
Oh God, yes. Yes. If you turn bone or hooves or antler or anything
Antler,
like that, you wear your
All has the
respirator
same-
and put a fan in the window because you want to evacuate that. Bambi won't even come in the shop when I'm doing it.
It smells
Yeah,
terrible.
you don't want bone or antler dust in your lungs.
No.
No. I wore an actual sanding respirator. I don't have a belt type with a head, but I wore an actual sanding respirator and made sure I just about passed out if I put my hands over as opposed to just using a mask.
Yeah.
Make sure I had a good solid thing, because you don't want to work with any of that. If you ever get any mammoth ivory or anything like that, you want to, the same type of thing. You can get stabilized mammoth ivory. I've never worked with it, but I know someone who has, and he said it makes antler and bone look dustless. Matt probably knows I know Matt knows who I'm talking about. So does Jeff. Dan Starks worked with the mammoth ivory, and he says it's just horrendous as far as dust and that kind of stuff.
Like turning concrete.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's all I got.
Yeah, it's more
Thanks
like
very much,
grinding
Steve
concrete.
and Bambi.
Yep.
Nice work.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Guys.
Thank you.
Next up is Dave. Hey, Dave. Oh, what happened? There we go.
There it is.
I see
Unmute
you.
yourself. There we go. We're looking at you, Dave.
Yeah,
You're on.
You're up. You're up. We got you.
Well, I didn't get a whole lot of time this week because I don't know if you noticed a lady popped in behind me a little while ago. That's my sister, and last night we've been celebrating her 80th birthday.
Wow,
Nice.
nice.
I did get out a chance to get out and do this.
Is it
Very
cherry?
nice.
It's about an eighth inch on the inside, and yeah, it's cherry.
I love it. I love it.
That's really pretty,
But-
Dave. That's pretty.
I'm not ever getting tired of you turning cherry, Dave.
I know.
No.
I'm not getting
it's
tired of you
ho-hum
turning it either.
Cherry is beautiful.
Although I have to admit, some of the stuff I've seen tonight makes me feel awfully inadequate.
Not at all.
There's some unbelievable stuff tonight.
What is your lid?
I can
there,
never get
Dave?
enough cherry.
Dave, what is your lid? Is that something
Oh,
you
that-
just
that-
colored or?
That's walnut.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a bunch of walnut. It's going to take me a while to get to too. And that's one of the reasons I'm excited about getting my new chainsaw.
There you go.
New
New toys.
Dave, I hope
New toys.
I hope you're going to bring me some cherry to level up.
I'll see what I can do.
There'll probably be more than one person bringing cherry.
Boy, I
But,
hope so.
I'm hoping to get to some walnuts so I can bring that. We'll see.
All right. Well, thanks,
Work.
Dave.
Okay. Take care, everybody.
Take
Next
care,
up is
Dave.
me. I've got a little bit of work in progress.
Oh, cool.
That's nice.
Oh, that's pretty.
So, and I
Hey.
can't really. This isn't really showing this well because the inside of this has got some of that chameleon paint. Oh, that's not going to help at all. But it goes purple to blue on the inside. If I can, there it goes.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Yeah.
You can see it. Yep.
Yeah. Now this is a work in progress. I tried adding some of the chameleon dust to the blue pearlescent paint on the outside, but I can't really tell that. Well, I guess it's shifted a little bit too. But anyway, I got a lot more work to do. on it.
Hold that back up to the camera because it looks like the middle flower is moving separately from the bowl. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's weird.
that's kind of cool.
So there's the
Yeah.
That's
purple.
cool.
There's the blue.
Oh,
It goes purple there too.
That's what the chameleon does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's fun. I got a couple more experimental ideas I want to try on this piece, but thought I'd show that because we got a little bit of time. Oh, Scott's got something to show. Let's go to Scott. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, I just thought I'd join the square challenge.
There you go.
There you go.
And it's
Very cool.
actually almost a cube. I'm a 16th of an inch short of a perfect cube.
Oh,
Inch and 3/4 by inch and 3/4.
boy.
Very nice.
Hey,
Nice.
hey Scott, how'd you hold that?
What
In
I
a tuck.
screwed it up actually. I started out, I put a trucking point on this end, a tenon on this end, wait a minute. Yeah, this end, which was supposed to be the bottom. And they started turning the bottom and ended up going through the sides. So then I had to figure out how I'm going to turn it around now and grab it, because obviously I'm not going to grab it in here with the feet. You'd break the feet off because it's so thin. This is less than a 16th of an inch out here on these edges.
Right.
I had to think about it. So then I just wrapped it in a rubber band from a ceramic mold, a real wide, thick rubber band. Maybe I haven't laying here yet. I'm not going to wrap it on here because this is still a little wet. But I used a thick, wide rubber band. And I cut it so that it just fit around the piece tightly and the ends butted together. Then I grabbed it in my long nose jaws around that rubber band so I wouldn't mark the outsides of it when I turned it around. And then I hollowed the bowl, and the edges of the bowl are less than a 16th of an inch. You really can't see it in the camera, but
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
they're paper thin.
Yep.
Ever
You
so
can see
ever
it.
so slightly, you can see it.
Yeah, it's a good technique for holding it.
Yeah, cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that rubber band works, and they're a thicker rubber band than a normal rubber band. So
Yeah.
if you find
you've
somebody
got-
that's in the ceramic business and got old rubber bands that are about ready to break, you can see this one's not in too good a shape. It worked great for grabbing in your jaws and not marking your piece of wood.
Right.
Cool.
Old
went
thin
to,
mouse pads work really well for that too, Scott.
Right.
You cut things to length.
My
I went to,
thought was I wanted to keep it as centered as I can. You can see that that's almost perfect center. I mean, it's so close that the naked eye can't tell the difference.
Right.
And that was my goal, was to get that outside as close to the edge without blowing through it and keep it perfectly square.
Nicely done.
And then I didn't sand these either. So I turned this till it started to fray on the edges. You know how wood will fray on these edges. If you keep going, sometimes it'll tear out on your faces.
Yep.
I took this on the bed of my bandsaw, put a piece of sandpaper on there and sanded the outside till it was almost snapped those off. And I just took a piece of sandpaper on the inside, not on the scoop, but on the inside cup, and sanded them till they just popped off.
Cool.
So I didn't sand those cups at all. They're not changed at all. It's however they came out.
Nice.
And you can see they're darn close to perfect.
Yeah, they're nearly perfect. Very well done.
Yes.
So
It
was
look
fun.
great, Scott.
My
Looks
New
great.
Year's resolution was to start turning miniatures, so this is the first one.
Very cool.
They're going to go smaller than this. You'll see.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
Yep.
What I did is I went to a local small motor repair shop and dumpster dived in their dumpster and got some old tires, old inner tubes, and cut those up into basic, cut them up into round circles. And I put those inside my chuck, and that works really well too.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. I just didn't have any inner tube, but you had to use. I had the challenge in our English club was to make something in under an hour, so I made that in 20 minutes. So I had to find something that I fell into that hour category.
Nice.
So
Very
I
cool,
completed
Scott.
this all in 20 minutes. I had the first coat of finish on it in 20 minutes.
Wow.
Very cool. Very cool.
Great work, Scott.
Thank you.
All right, Dane, back to you.
All right. Must be top of the hour. It's almost time for what the majority of folks are hanging out and waiting for. So, quick reminder on Level Up. Registration will be closed down on July 31st. So don't be sitting on the outside wishing you were in. But at the same time, we may be able to make accommodations. If you haven't read the newsletter, there's some acceptable excuses. You were busy coring wood or roughing a blank out, and that's why you forgot to register. But if the dog ate your laptop, that's not going to be an excuse. But so Level Up's full steam ahead, and we have a prelude to one of the classes that are going to be taught up at Level Up for a demonstration tonight with Mr. Tim Hatch. And it's going to be a really good demo. But let's get our safety moment on. Let's go see Safety Sue and see what kind of good advice, sage advice she's got for us.
Well, I've got some advice. The 1 week we talked about dust when we were talking about our face mask and eyes. And then last week we talked about dust for inhalation. And this week, we're going to talk about dust. And I have a story to tell you. Now, we know that some dust is just dust. Other dusts are dust mites, God forbid. But a lot of dust can bother people and can be caustic. So I want you to remember what happened in the fall of 2011. We know the towers have already come down. But at the post office, we had postal inspectors dying, and we had postal employees dying, and it was the anthrax. At first, they thought that it started at my post office, which has 10 satellite stations. We later showed that no, it did not start from a specific satellite station coming to St. Petersburg and then being sent out to different areas in the DC area. But still, postal inspectors were dying, postal employees were dying, and all from maybe 1, 2, maybe 10 letters. But we were talking not only people dying, but people getting very, very sick that no one even knew of. Now, let me explain why. Letter sorting machines were cleaned out daily because of the paper dust. And they cleaned them out with a compressor and a blowgun. That's what was happening. They were blowing the anthrax around the post office, all the offices. So even in the bird cages and stuff where the inspectors would sometime go, that's how they were getting it because the dust was being blown up in their area. So since then, they stopped blowing. In fact, by Christmas, everything had stopped blowing. There was no blowing out machines anymore. And we're talking everything was machines. There wasn't hand sorting of mail except for the mail that machines couldn't read. You have machine sorting letters, machine sorting packages, machine sorting what we called flats, which is newspapers and manila envelopes, machine sorting priority mail, express mail. So you knew that you were going to have that all over the place. Instead, they changed to vacuums with special filters. It took almost twice as long to clean out a machine, but people stopped getting sick. And I know a lot of people, even I do it. I had to turn on the compressor and you blow out, say, the inside of your bowls or the outside of your bowls. And guys, it's still dust. Whether it's benign or caustic, it's still dust. Are you keeping your dust masks on or your respirators on? And from what I've seen for demos on YouTube and stuff, the answer is no. They're blowing that stuff all over the place. So my advice to you all, before you start blowing stuff, what have you got on your face? Are you skin sensitive to the dust? Maybe you should be vacuuming it out. So my dust extractor, I use that. I have, I forgot the name of the one I got, but it's a dust extractor, needless to say. And yes, if I'm not using it to suck out the dust that I'm sanding with, I turn it the other way and use it as a vacuum to get up as much as I can. And don't take off your respirator or dust mask until you're done. We've already been through it last week when you should take off your dust masks or your safety gear. I don't think we need to go over it again other than to say, get out of the dusty environment before you take your protective gear off. But I wanted to tell you that story, not to feel sorry for postal workers, but that it was a learning moment so that maybe blowing stuff around isn't the best thing for all of us. Maybe we need to suck it up and vacuum. So take care.
Blow.
Yeah. So like I said, suck it up and vacuum, guys. So take care. I hope you're all safe for next week. And be safe.
Very good.
Take care, man. You're welcome.
All right. So with that, let's go see Mr. Tim Hatch. Tim, we got you. So Tim's inviting us into his shop. He's going to do a demo for us. He's going to turn a project his way using his tools and his techniques. If you have any questions, it's up to Tim if he wants to have gallery participation. But otherwise, we're going to mute everybody. Tim, you will need to mute yourself. If anybody has any questions, put them in the chat, and Billy, Scott, or myself will ask the questions to Tim when he's not busy concentrating turning. So with that, I'm going to mute everybody now. And unmute yourself, Tim.
All right, you got me now?
We hear you.
Tim, where'd you get that camo smock?
Last week, we were talking about storage of your dust mask. The RZ mask come with their own little bag, and this thing hangs on my lathe. So when I remember, and I put in a fresh filter after I've washed the mask, put it in the bag, and I just clip it onto my lathe. That way it's there when I need to put my mask on. I've been using the that Trend Air Shield Pro. Not a fan. Not a fan. It weighs a little bit more. The batteries don't last very long. I've gone through 2 batteries already since I've had thing since I bought it at SWAT, I guess 2 years ago now. And so not a super fan. It does a great job as far as giving me fresh air, clean air, changing the filters, all that good stuff. But anyway, let's get on to the demo. So I've got a couple different cameras around here. Today's demo is basically hollowing, different ways of hollowing. So way back when I first started, started looking up things like figuring out how to use my lathe. Well, Captain Eddie was one of the first victims that I identified, and he was making tools using carbide cutters and that type of stuff. This isn't one of his, it's one I bought off Rockler. He also talked about using different high-speed steel put into a steel rod, different angles and things to make cheap hollowing tools and hollowing on the cheap. I sent a link to Matt earlier in the chat between he and I, and that's a really good, if you're looking to get into hollowing without spending a ton of money, great way of going. The next tools I got, wife blessed me for Christmas the following year, and I got this little 3-piece set. She picked it up from Amazon, and it's got 3 different colors in it. Right, it's got a straight, a bent, and an extreme bent in there. I think that thing was like $35 or something. One of the problems with this tool is it's got a really short shaft. So if I'm up on the tool rest, I could do Christmas ornaments and things like that. Getting in any deeper was an issue. So the next thing I ended up doing was I talked to Birdhouse Bob. He had a hollowing rig he was getting rid of. And I bought this elbow tool, and you guys have seen Billy Burt with the elbow tool 1. Now, this is the original one, and the problem with this, it's a great system. I'm not complaining at all. The problem I had with this was at the time I had a Jet 1221, and this thing is just too doggone long to fit my 1221. So I had to come up with a different system to still use this. So what I ended up doing was I watched a couple different videos. Trent Bosch, Tim Yoder has a new elbow tool, and I made this little bracket. That's a 1/2-inch steel plate, little wooden T-nut on the bottom to fit in between my weights. And I took a piece of 3/8-inch flat stock, and what I do is I take off one of these sections and add this on here. So instead of going out and spending a bunch of money trying to, that's $3,000 or
at the time, I think it was $400 rig from Tim Yoder, and he has great products, by the way. I just kind of, pardon the French, bastardized this one. This has a little brass
Bushing
spacer basically, and with that bolt. This is set up on a 5/8 inch bolt, so it goes straight into my banjo on my 1221. So that was the next step that I had, and then from there, I went up to Swant one time, and of course, I've been drilling at hollowing tools for a while, trying to figure out how to make things and get things, and off of old Birdhouse Bob and a few other folks' recommendation, I ended up buying one of these Trent Bosch stabilizer systems. Now, I got the smaller one. Okay, I got the instead of the 3/4 inch, I got the 5/16 one. So it'll fit into my 1221. And then of course, I got on the cheap, I went ahead and made my own, camera
Laser.
system to adapt to this. So that works out pretty cool. And, again, I don't have a bunch of money. Mama doesn't let me have a big allowance to spend money on things. So I saved up my pennies and I went out. I saw Tim Yoder again, and I said, well, I really like your laser guide system. And this is Tim's laser guide. And what I do is I can either mount this on that elbow tool, or I made a little adapter and I could put this into my one-way coring system, and I can mark out using the laser to see how deep I'm going in a bowl and stuff. So that's just some of those following things that are out there. But let's get into tonight's demo. I just want to show you some of the tools that are out there, and so you can think about doing something big like this. This is pretty good size. I mean, we're talking 9-10 inches tall, and if you were to try to hollow that using conventional tools, you just couldn't get it done. You need some type of a rig. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a 2-part vase system. But we're not going to turn a big vase like this.
Hey, Tim.
Turn a small vase like that. This one here's got a bunch of, bug inclusions in it, that type of thing. Let me switch cameras so you get a better picture, because this computer camera really sucks.
Tim, can you hear me?
Yeah.
When you turned around with your back to us, you weren't coming in as loud. So I'm thinking you're not set up with the mic that's on your head.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's see. Is that any better? No, same.
About the same.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the microphone from my head. So, all right. So what we're going to end up turning is something small and squatty, kind of like the potpourri, but it's going to be a 2-part system, a 2-part vase, or coliform per se. So what a couple other things I want to show you was how I set things up typically for, instead of turning spindle work like this, we're turning side grain. So talk about that real quick. One of the other things I want to mention was finishes. So this finish that you're seeing on here, nice high gloss. I mean, really shines. Same thing on this one. That comes from this triple thick, very thin triple thick. This stuff's expensive. It was like $14 a Ace Hardware. But guys, that's 2 coats, 2 light coats.
Cool.
This is the Prolux, which took the place of Def. That's friggin' 6 coats. Doesn't even compare in my mind. So just some things that I'm going through on my end of the shop. I'm gonna switch cameras here, and we'll talk about how I set things up for doing my cross grains. Hang on 1 second. All right. So take a bowl blank, and I've got this little gauge that I made so many years ago when I had my son's small lathe up in here. Literally, that's the tool that I made. Give me 10 seconds. I'm looking for a tool. Hate it when you put things down, can't find out where things are. All right. So anyway, I take my awl, stick it in the center, and then I'll take my pencil and I'll put it in one of these holes. And then I'll draw myself, this thing rotates around, and it can give me basically a line on how I want to cut my blank out using a bandsaw or a rough shape. If the way you can do it, put it up on here, you can mark out your line and see roughly where you want to cut it. So that's just one of the techniques. And then what I'll end up doing, roll this out of the way. I'll cut my blank out. So once I cut my blank out, then I have a rough idea. Remember, I stuck the awl in the center here, so that gave me a center point. Then I take this drill bit, which is a 2 1/8 inch friggin' Forstner bit. So I'll put it up there so you can see it. It is a TC Wood hole saw, 53 millimeter. I think I bought it off Amazon. I don't remember. But I'll take it over to my drill press and I'll drill the center hole. And what that does allows my chuck to literally fit nice and tight inside the hole. And we'll mount this on the lathe in a second. But that's a good firm grip. If you're concerned about it and you don't really like that because it doesn't have that dovetail, I've got my center point. I have my other center point where the drill bit is. All you have to do is just mount it on your lathe between centers and then use, you could use one of the Mark Soleil style bringing tools to get you your
recess,
right? Sorry.
Nope,
right.
all good.
Right. Or you could just stick it between centers and then use a skew. That's a little bit difficult. So I like the Mark Soleil method a whole lot better. I'm going to go ahead and mount this thing up on the chuck real quick, and then we're going to get started. Any questions so far?
Nothing yet.
All right, awesome. And knockout bar. So up underneath my lathe, I actually have a mortar bucket. Let me see if I switch cameras real quick so you can see what I'm talking about here. So I mounted a mortar bucket. It's just kind of wedged in between the legs there. And that catches quite a bit of my shavings and stuff. I still get a bunch on the floor, but between that and the dust collector behind the lathe, it does a pretty good job of keeping most of the debris out of the shot. I mean, it still goes everywhere. But I'm gonna move this back and see if we can position the camera towards tailstock so you can see what the heck's going on. And we'll get ready to go here in 2 seconds. Let me resharpen my pencil real quick because I broke the tip off. So, tip of the day, piece of blue tape, friggin' those high-speed magnets sticks on your lathe. You don't have to go searching for a pen or a pencil. We all got 100 different ways of doing things. When I looked at this piece, I'm gonna switch cameras one more time back to the other camera. When I cut this blank out, you'll notice that it has this crack right here. Well, that crack is, it probably only goes down to maybe about a ½ inch or so, but just to firm it up a little bit, I use some Starbond CA. I've run out of friggin' all my other great super glue like 3408 and everything, so I still have a big bottle of Starbond from back in the day. One of the things to think about, I want to pop to another camera, is doesn't matter if you're doing spindle work or if you are doing like this is spindle work orientation here, but this piece of birch that I got from Home Depot, it's kiln dried. I figured, hey, you know, wife said, why don't we make a bunch of Christmas tree ornaments and things like that? Well, I bought a bunch of birch a couple of years ago. Well, it's got wind checks all the way through it. This is literally firewood. I'm never going to turn this, but I want to show you guys what not to turn. I know some guys get pretty brave and they go ahead and turn things that are cracked and whatnot. I highly recommend if you get a piece like this and it's got all those cracks through it, use it for firewood. That's all it's good for. So that's going to get thrown out there in the shop. One of the other things I like doing when using hollowing, and I'm not advocating for friggin' Harbor Freight, but picked up this light from Harbor Freight. It has a flashlight on one end, has this nice wide, floodlight type deal, and one up underneath. So this is magnetic, sticks to the lathe. So if you're doing any hollowing or anything like that, it's a good light to have. It's USB rechargeable. Again, just something that I have. Now my center is off here just a little bit from what I originally marked, and that's fine because we're going to go ahead and turn this around. So let me go ahead and put my rest up in here. I've got my safety glasses on. I don't wear any bling ring because I've lost a bunch of weight and the wedding ring will fall off. So, and I quit wearing watches a long time ago because people always worry about what time it is. I don't care. I don't care personally what time it is. I work till I get everything done. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and spin this round, make sure that nothing hits. You can see it's out of round. It's out of shape a little bit. We are going to go ahead and turn it round. My speed right now is, I'm on the lowest speed setting, and I'm going to go ahead and bring up the speed. I'm going to stand off to the left-hand side, and I'm going to start doing kind of a push cut. Trying to get this thing round. Pick up the bevel. Once I get it started round, I'm gonna go ahead and might get away. Got a little bit of slippage there. I took too big of a bite. The only problem with not having that dovetail with the piece like this is you are going to get a little bit of spinach, a little bit of slippage. So double check your chuck, make sure it's extra tight. You want to pick up speed a little bit, and again, find the doubles. Full test. I'm just dropping it in right now, guys. It's just gonna be, it's gonna come off right now. Got that tool rest just a little bit because it doesn't feel right. On this tool rest, it's just the standard Powermatic tool rest. I bought a hardened steel bar from E-Way Tools. Actually sent Andy Swayze a couple of years ago when I was up at SWAT. And I think Billy Burke's idea is to locking that up on top there. I have not had to reject the tool rest ever since. And the problem is, it makes a high speed tool rest a little bit higher. I mean, that's like 3/8 longer. That's pretty good. Field almost round. Let's take a quick look. I'm going to swap camera so you guys can see the spalting and the reason I picked this piece of wood. And there's that crack we filled earlier with the CA glue. Again, I'm not necessarily worried about that crack, but a technique right now to fix that, to enhance that would be, before we go ahead and hollow this out, would be maybe enhance that using something like, oh, what the heck, brass filings or powder of that nature, or maybe some inlays. We're going to switch back camera again. Any questions so far?
No, nothing yet.
All right.
Explaining everything well.
Right now, because I really want to kind of keep this thing in this pumpkin type shape. So right in the center here, I'm going to go ahead and put a line in. That's pretty much going to be where I'm going to end up porting this. So that's approximately right around there, maybe a little over, somewhere in between there. That's probably going to be my center mark. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put another recess on this other side. Somewhere around here, I have a set of calipers. Proper U-test size on it. Gotta love it when you put things down, right? Put things down, they end up on the floor. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just visually identify the size of the tenon that I need. Move my tool rest around, lock it down, and I'm gonna go ahead and mark that recess. Oh, that really worked well, huh? All right, so I've got my recess marked. I've got a couple different ways of cutting this, and what I really like to do is I like to pull tailstock away and use Mark's Away's tool, but the other option is to put a tenon on there. Because it's side grain, I want to go ahead and put a recess. I've had better luck with side grain having a recess. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to use my version of Mark Slay's tool. And we'll go ahead and try to put that mortise in there. You'll notice that the tool has the angle from my chuck. Got a nice bevel to it. I just sharpened this thing literally right before the demo. And I have a pretty good recess in there. Because this is sculpted, I want to go ahead and get rid of some of this extra crap that's in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some CA glue in here just to firm everything up. With the sculpted wood, I know I deal with it quite a bit. I really like to ensure that it has good penetration with the CA glue. And see, can I zoom in a little? Let's see. It's not letting me do that. That
Yep.
better?
Yep.
All right. Put your face mask back down, and I'm just going to kind of cut this out. Get out my center point. I like to remark my center, just so I have a reference if anything goes crazy. I've got a reference point back in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull the tailstock back real quick. It's my center point right here. And there's the cut from that chuck. So this area right up in here, I'm going to go ahead and blow it out with my arrow. I know Sue just thought that's about good, but I've got my dust collector right behind me. I turn it on. Again, if you heard my air compressor, I know Zoom normally cancels that stuff out. But
Yeah,
No,
we're
we
not
didn't.
hearing it.
when the store-bought decides it wants to fill up the end of the bottle, right? So it's fine.
Tim, keep in mind that your computer microphone is what's in use. So when you're talking, you need to be directing your voice towards your computer.
Right. All right, this any better?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so putting the star bond in, I'm just gonna go ahead and flood this area a little bit. I'll get some good penetration in there. Give it a minute or two to kind of soak in. Probably see where it's got the staining going in. Now it's gonna soak in better on the end grain than it is obviously the side grain. I'm gonna hit it one more time. I'm gonna hit it with some activator. I gotta grab that real quick. All right. I'll just hit it with the activator and I'm gonna kind of cure up there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my skewer and I'm just gonna double check that mortar, clean up that little bit of starb on there. So I had a good, nice seat on it. All right, so that's part 2. So the next thing I need to do is I need to come up with a shape. And again, we talked about having kind of that pumpkin shape or a flying saucer shape there. Kind of what I'm going to be looking for on this particular piece. I'm going to go ahead and kind of bring that shape down a little bit. Got to figure out which side's going to be the top, which side's going to be the bottom. Got my speed turned up to about 750 or so. And then we're ankle double and cut. That didn't come off. Well, you're stepping down, taking a big chunk. Probably not what you want to be doing. You get towards the edge there. And work it in there a little bit.
Um,
Now, say you wanted a hollow form with a smaller opening out here instead of this larger opening. The reason I have everything set up the way I do right now is I can make this I could make this actually shorter, like this could be the top right here. Get rid of all this material up to about right there. Have enough there support for that mortise to support everything. Then I could just drill a smaller hole and then repeat everything and I put it all back together. But we're gonna go ahead and keep it kind of large. It's give you a couple different options. Again, I gave Matt listed a number of following videos or people's videos and stuff that are found on the internet. This is just give you some ideas on how you can do different things, different projects. Now this, so what do you think caused this tear out that I've got going on right here? Anybody? Besides it,
I don't know.
Salted wood. I think it's because I'm not using the grain. I'm not supporting those fibers.
Yeah, you're on the end. You're on the end grain where the little tear out's happening too. So
say again.
You're on the end grain where the tear out's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it is on the end grain, but the other thing is the direction that I'm turning and cutting to. Let's see if we can clean that up a little bit. Get my speed back up. I don't know if you're seeing the reflection, the shine right there, and that's coming from the cut.
Yep, I can see the shine. Yep.
I still got a little bit of tear out again because this is spalted wood. I am going to get some tear out, but it's not as bad. It's not as pronounced as what it was. On this side here, it's almost non-existent. So I'd probably clean that up one more time with another good cut. As I'm looking here in this area, I'm gonna switch camera so you can see the area I'm talking about. I have an area that kind of causes me a little bit of concern. So you see where the crack is up here. That whole piece right here is kind of raised up. It's got a little bit of a lip. So because I really want to keep that shape to some degree, and I want to reinforce that, I'm going to go ahead and soak that down real quick with some Charbon and let it soak in. And then I'm going to go ahead and spray it real quick with the activator and continue on down here. Let me get that done real quick. And we'll continue on. Are there any questions on anything so far?
No, sir.
Well, either you guys are really bored or I'm doing a good job. One or the other.
Well, let's go with the later. You're doing a good job.
Yep.
Appreciate it. So that's a feature. And again, if I want to.
Can you lift the camera up? Can you tilt the camera up a little bit?
Yeah. Sorry, I just was soaking it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want it dropping on my leg.
Right.
You know that feeling.
Oh, yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and activate that real quick and then we'll continue on. If I was at my final shape, you know, as far as form wise on that particular area, like I said earlier, I could use some inlay powder or inlace or something. Sorry, I got a bunch of crap wrong there. little bitty shop. A whole lot of room to do so. An idea, I'm gonna switch cameras one more time here. An idea for highlighting that or maybe changing things up a little bit might be coffee grounds. Superfine, thick regular, pardon me, thick regular coffee grounds, put it in a coffee grinder, you know, like an espresso grinder, and mill those down. So that's one idea. Another idea might be some metal powders. This is brass metal powders, and then I got that a couple of years ago, and that's literally what I made that band with on the other. Or I use these inlay granules. This particular one's turquoise. I also got some of these Jimmy Choo's synthetic sands. Not real jazzed on those, but that's just personal choice. But for the inlays, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of this turquoise, and I'm not gonna finish this piece with this. I'm just giving you some ideas on how I did that other one. I'll put a little mortar and pestle. Give it a quick little grind. And now what I have is a darker turquoise color. So it looks more like the natural stone instead of just the stuff out of the jar. You know, especially Arizona, we got the American Beauty turquoise up there in Globe and so many other turquoise and stuff. It's out there. So azurite, malachite, all that type of stuff has different colors to it. So if I have extra, I have an empty jar. I just mix this together, then I've got more for inlay projects or whatever. Anyway, let's move on to. I had to give a Starbond a minute to cure up. Yeah, that's why I was carrying on the conversation. All right. Doesn't feel tacky anymore. We're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and continue picking up the cut. Yeah, clean up the soil side a little bit. Now this center line, I'm not really worried about right now. I'm not sure if it matches or not. This point in time, all I'm trying to do is get the rough shape size that I want to follow. All right, moving on. This point right now, what I've got is I've got a rough idea on my shape. I might kind of center line where I'm going to be parting this and splitting this. Now I'm going to go ahead and mark that out real quick. So what I got is I have a diamond shaped parting tool. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in around. I'm making go a little bit deeper. Looks pretty good. Just a little hair more. Get right there. Got this thin parting tool that I made, and it's a piece of high-speed steel, just 1/16 of an inch by a half inch by 4.5 inches long. It's got about a 15-degree bevel, one direction, and the other. What that allows me to do is I push it in, it's clearing and pushing the wood, cutting it that way. This is going to become a tenon inside of my two-part base. Switch camera so you can see maybe a little better what I'm speaking of. Okay, so right in here, I'm down about an eighth of an inch or so. I'm going to be cutting on this side with this thin parting tool. I'm going to be cutting right along in here. What that'll do is that'll give me a tenon about just short of a 1/4 inch. I'm going to use the thin parting tool. I'm going to go ahead and cut right alongside where you see this line right here. And you see it better there. I'm going to cut along that line, and then we're going to separate these two heads. Are they good? Speed on this, you don't want to go super fast. And go get a little grabbing. Now on typical parting tool, you need to make that. You can make that little gap for it, so it can cut. On the book, what this is doing, giving me just enough. And again, my speed is down about 300. I'll put this in quite a bit. And we're going to stop right there. All right, so and widthwise, about that deep. And when I got snagged right there, what you just saw, yeah, I got a little breakout, but that's okay. It's all gonna blend here in a few minutes. All right, so then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out the saw. And we're just gonna start. I'm gonna put cameras in there so you can see one more time. You need to go ahead and lock your headstock.
You mean you don't use that saw with the lathe running?
Say again?
I said, you mean you don't use that saw with the lathe running?
No, I do not. It's a technique, not the preferred technique.
I don't blame you. I don't either. That's bad juju.
Yeah, my shop right now is only, oh gee, I don't know, 90 friggin' degrees or so. My AC is kicking, but I'm kicking that yet. So other options that you have, bandsaw, right? A jig like what Scott made a couple of years ago. Put your chuck in there and take it over bandsaw and cut it. Number of choices. Of course, I picked a nice big piece of wood with a demo on, right?
So good.
Fine. So we have two halves now. That one's got a little bit of a chewed up area, but we're good to go on that. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna kind of face this off a little bit. Just to give me a flat spot per se to get the drill bit in. Oh, you unlock the headstock. All right, any questions so far?
I don't see any.
Awesome. I have a half-inch drill bit on Jacob's chuck. I'm gonna go ahead and figure out roughly. Remember, I have a recess in here, and that recess is approximately, it's over a quarter inch. It's the width or the depth of this drill bit. But so that's just pushing almost a half inch. So I need to remember that as far as gauging my depth on putting this drill bit in. So what I'm going to do is just use a piece of blue tape. I'm going to make an estimation on how deep I'm going to go. I'm going to wrap that piece of blue tape around here. That'll give me my depth on how deep I want to go. I've already got my center point. But just to make sure that bit goes in, I'm going to go ahead and pick up my skew. I'm going to touch it with the skew real quick. Just verify I got a good divot for that bit to bite into. There we go. Banjo out the way. Hold on to the chuck. I'm going to turn my speed up to about right around 300 or so. I'm just going to bore down to that line. This is semi-wet wood, even though it's been on the ground a while. So it will build up. Shavings build and expand. I don't know if you can see them expanding or not. Because they're still damp, they're going to build up and then expand on there. That gives me my depth on how deep I want to basically carve this bowl out. Before I start carving anything and cutting anything, I'm going to go ahead and double check my chuck one more time. Just make sure everything's good and tight. Now we're going to start pouring this thing out. Again, I got a half-inch bowl gouge. I'm going to figure out how wide I want my tenon to be. Going right about there. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me zoom in just a little more. So right there, that's the outside edge of that tenon. That's going to kind of give me the thickness of wall thickness of my bowl. Because really it's just two bowls put together. I like hitting tailstock support as much as I can possibly get. So I'm gonna stick my tailstock back in that hole. And it's just kind of choked me up a little bit here. But at the same time, I don't have to worry about if that bowl gets attached and if it comes off the chuck or anything like that. Swap that out for a cone center real quick. I know there's a million different ways to do this, guys. Again, it's just a way. It's not the only way. It's just a way of doing it. I'll work on that, Dan.
Say what?
Billy,
Matt
you're blocking the camera.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead, Billy.
I was gonna say, Matt's asking what's the wobble from? Is it from the camera being connected to the lathe? But
I'm sorry, one more time.
what's causing the wobble? We're seeing wobble on the lathe.
One more time, Billy.
There's a slight wobble. What might be the cause?
Is the camera magnetically attached to the lathe? Or clamped to the lathe or something? Just wondering what the wobble was from. Just wondering what the wobble was from.
I've got a light behind and I've got a light above.
It's all right, Tim.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Press on, brother.
Now we get to a point where that's in my way. Now I'm just gonna reach down.
Hey, Tim, we can't see what you're doing.
You what?
We cannot see what you're doing.
Okay, hang on a sec. Let me switch cameras and I'll readjust this other one. Maybe it'll work better.
Okay, great. Thanks. That'll be better. Thanks, Tim.
Better?
Oh yeah,
Yep,
perfect.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mucho mejor.
We'll do that from.
I stuttered on my Spanish.
I'm gonna stop real quick, check my wall thickness. I know I'm good, but does not hurt at all. Go ahead and stop and check everything out. A little thicker up here than I want to be, not where I want to be there, and I've still got another ½ inch down below. But I still got hollow line. So one of the problems that you get into is you're a little further away from the tool rest and getting kind of that balance with the tool and stuff. So it does help. Go ahead and readjust the tool rest. And of course, pick up and follow your cut. So that's what I'm going to do now. You'll notice that the tool doesn't bounce and you don't really struggle with it as much. Which I cut. I'm going to pull off the using that anchor in the bubble. You're going to cut it. I just went through. So this now, that's okay. This now became the top. See how quick and easy that works? Right, so if you do screw up, just design things a little bit. And I knew I was going to be close because right in the center there, but let me readjust the cam, sorry. Right in the center, I was seeing a little pinhole, and that pinhole is from the inside of that portion of it. So now I know where my check is. I'm just going to clean that out just a little bit, and this will become my top. Not a big deal. It's just a design change. Design opportunity. That's it. I'm going to switch cameras real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Too easy, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me take a drink real quick. So again, checking my wall thickness, I'm good there. Up on this other end, I've still got plenty of meat to make a sweep, make a slope, whatever I want to do when I join these two pieces together. Right now, that's as good as it needs to be. I could sand it. No, it would be preferable. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time sanding on this. Don't want to waste too much demo time, but I do want to clean that up a little bit. All right. And this piece is probably going to get resanded, and I'm going to change some things up on it after the demo. I want to fill that crack, and I want to do some other things. Before I take this off, on my freaking pen will be getting good. So on my chuck, I have a witness mark on my chuck. Because I probably want to remount this sometime, I'm going to go ahead and mark corresponding witness mark on the top of that bolt. What that allows me to do is if I take it off like I am right now, and this piece is wet. See, I got this hole here. I still can shape. I can still bring this in. On the inside, I've probably got, up to that hole, I've got friggin' a ½ inch. But at the hole, because of the depth of the tenon, when I made this mortise, that mortise is just a little bit deep. You see, even with the straight jaws, and light a little bit, with the straight jaws, there was just a little bit of slipping with chuck right there. My chuck bottomed out back here, and I've got a little bit of slippage where it initially slipped. Set that piece aside, and we'll go on with the next one. Now again, another mortise. If we made it correctly, the right size, it's always a challenge. Make sure you're 100%. We are off just a smidge. That's okay. Got my center point. All I have to do, find my center point. Let me put the original friggin' light center back in. Through this something. Skin attack. Okay. Yeah, I know Safety Sue's gonna get on me about leaving my key in the truck. Oh, that doesn't look too terrible. It's probably because I missed the truck. Here are. Remember when we were recording this, got a little registration mark right here. On this end, you got the lip on the inside. On this end, I need the lip on the outside. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. There you go.
Jim, change cameras again when you get a chance.
Say again?
Change cameras,
Thanks.
please.
Problem. Sorry.
Can you raise that camera just a little? Much better.
More better.
Killing it off a little bit. He's running pretty much fairly true to some degree. It's gonna become a bear for me at all.
Only in a demo, Tim. Only in a demo.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Hey,
What's that?
I was just laughing at myself. I, I was thinking, when I want to expose my flaws, I do a demo.
Right? Yeah, amen. I'm going to show you what not to do.
Or a video.
And, you know, that's the beauty and the problem with pulpwood wood. You get a hard spot, you get a soft spot, and things that you intended to be in a certain spot don't always stay that way.
No. With me, seldom.
So right here is what is the actual edge of my tenon there. Well, I'm gonna cut in a little bit, and then we're gonna attempt to see if we can make a fit, make an adjustment, and then we'll go from there. And nice catch there, Tim. Yeah. Double check the chart. At this point in time, right now, we got a couple. That's where my center should be. Yeah, forward. It's not where the center is on this. Safest way to turn something is where? Between the centers. What's on there? Well, the depth of cut has to be at least that 1/4 inch or so. Not quite there. Like I said, this thing is going to be ugly because friggin' mortars is all ugly, but it's close. All right, well, this one's not gonna go together the way I wanted it to. So you guys get the rough idea. I'm gonna end up making this into 2 separate bowls or something later on, but anyway, we were taking through this together. At the seam, you shouldn't have any seam at all. You'd end up with that nice overlap like what we had here, and then I would take and fill that in. Unfortunately, this piece did not cooperate with me. I do have another piece, but I don't want to eat up the remainder of the meetings for this. I will show you guys this next week. I will end up putting it together, and I will make a form out of it. But any questions on anything?
No, nothing in the chat.
I do apologize,
Hey, it's you can always you can always count on demoitis. Like Billy was saying earlier.
Yeah.
When we demo, we're always going to wind up showing stuff that we didn't really intend upon showing, and
yeah.
then
So
coming in with the techniques to correct it. So
yeah, and so you can see where we slipped on. Let me go check this out real quick.
Yeah, you lost center. Or your
Yeah,
piece
it ended
center.
up slipping and getting off center at an angle, and that's why it wasn't facing correctly, because this part was faced nice, but that part got dished out, and that caused everything to be off kilter, which caused the cut thicker on one side and thinner on the other, which obviously made it to where it didn't line up and match. Nothing you can do on that. This, I can do a couple different things with. I could plug that with another piece of wood. I could fill it in with resin, trim that down a little bit, make a really cool bowl. So it's not a complete waste, but not exactly what I was planning for the demo. And I know better.
You roll with the punches.
I know
Roll
better
with the
to
punches.
use spalted wood on a demo, but sometimes you got to try, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And when you nail it, it looks good. So
Okay. Hey, so for the folks that are going to level up, like I said, I got 27 blank already made up. Some of them are rounded already, like cedar. This thing's a foot long. You don't need a foot. You cut it in half. You got two projects there. Or you can make a longer one, make a lid like what I did on that vase. This is not one of the blanks that's going. This is just another extra that I had floating around. It's not, didn't meet the diameter that I wanted. But you have an extra piece to take home, trade, make a Christmas tree ornament, whatever the heck you want to do with it. But plenty of wood there for everybody.
sounds good, Tim.
Nice job, Tim.
All right.
Absolutely. Makes a lot of
You know,
sense.
the patch was supposed
Thank
to
you,
make this
Tim.
perfect, right?
Ah, right. Well,
I
it's
learned
just-
stuff I learned stuff watching you turn, Tim. So it's all good, man.
Good.
Always
Hopefully
great.
everybody got something out of it, a little trick of the trade.
Yep.
It was
Yes,
a
indeed.
Woodturners demonstration. I mean, we've seen everything that just happened tonight.
Sorry it did not work out as beautifully as I planned in my mind.
Nah, man, it was believe me, it was good.
It was great.
Good.
And there's a saying about a well-planned
Oh yeah, it goes out with
project.
a shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly.
Never survives contact with the enemy.
Yeah, let me
Right.
switch cameras again real quick just to show you what we
Sure.
collected in the bucket versus what's on the floor. Right? So that's pretty good. I mean, minimal shot.
That's great.
Dirt, all that's not in the bucket. Well, everything that's in the bucket would typically be all over the doggone ground and
Right.
huge mess. So anyway, folks, that's all I got. I appreciate your time. And
We appreciate you. Thank you, Tim.
sorry it didn't work out as perfect.
No need to apologize. Everything was good.
Tim, Safety Sue says you done good.
Well, I
Okay.
appreciate it. And I got my
All right.
safety glasses on.
I see
Yes.
that. I see
I'm
that.
gonna
So,
have to change out to my regular spectacles now. But yeah.
okay. Well, just take it easy. You did fine. I'm not going to scream at you, only because people are responsible for the safety in their own shop. Okay. So, but you
Yes.
did a great demo, and I appreciate it. Thank you very
I
much.
appreciate you guys. All right.
Hey, Tim.
Very good.
Yes.
Tim.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, David, go ahead.
Yeah. Tim, you did a great demonstration on how to redesign as you go along.
Yes.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Stuff happens, and instead of throwing the wood out and crying over spilled milk and everything, heck, I got a pile of wood out front. I've got, it's just another piece. It'll become
Right.
something else.
Yeah, it'll be all good.
There's always more wood grows on trees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he did
And
a
this
great
is free.
job, and he knew how to fix it as he went along, which was wonderful.
All right.
I've never had anything go perfectly in my shop anytime I turn. Something always goes wrong.
And sometimes it takes a little longer to make a project work out. But
Exactly.
if it doesn't, well, I got a fire pit out back. So
Yeah. That's why you
There you
grab
go.
another piece of wood and chuck it up and make it again. So it's
yeah,
all
exactly.
good.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks for, once again, thanks for, inviting us into your shop and talking about the various type of hollowing rigs and how you divided and conquered on the original elbow one to make it shorter, and showing how you can make your own sleeves to accommodate, smaller shaft tool yokes. So good on you for that. And yeah, so with that, I think we've got a couple gallery left we can power through. Matt, who we got?
Well, the only one I've got on my list is Doug. So we're going to go to him. If I've missed you or you've got something to show, we'd love to see it. Please let us know in chat. Hey, Doug.
Hey, Doug.
Help if I lower my microphone.
Maybe.
Did a nice little piece yesterday, little piece of Kentucky weed tree.
Yeah.
What's
Came
that?
out. It came out pretty
Walnut?
nice. Nice little outward sloping rim. And I thought about if after the fact, I could have had a little bit of a reverse curve right just below the rim here, and that would have really accentuated it. But it came out pretty nice. Yeah, there's a longhorn right there in the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful bowl, Doug.
Yeah.
It's great. It's just fine. Yep.
Nice
We
grain.
did inscribe the bottom, so
Love it.
Yes, you did.
What'd you use for that?
Woodpecker.
I use
Laser
my
pecker.
hand gouge. No, laser pecker. I'm not good
Laser
enough
pecker.
with my pyrography. My pyrography pens and I do not get along. My hand and a regular pen don't get along very well. So laser pecker is the only way for me anymore. But anyway, wax finish, abrasive paste and wax is the only thing that's on there. All it's going to go on there, and it just came out just a nice little bowl.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's got great grain.
Yeah, does have a little couple little wormholes right there on the edge. That was kind of between the sapwood and the heartwood. But that's just character. Another pass, and I could have gotten rid of those. Those are all very shallow, but I decided to leave them. And like I said, it just left a little character in the bowl. The rest of it's very smooth.
Yes, it is. I even liked it yesterday, Doug. So yeah,
yes,
it was
you were
good.
There. Thank you very much.
Good.
All right. Thank you very much.
Who else we got?
Nobody else. So I'm going to go back to you, Dane.
Nobody else.
Yeah, we'd love to see everybody's work. So.
Oh, Glenn's in. Glenn's got something to show.
All right. Well, let's go to Glenn then. He doesn't have his camera on. Turn your camera on, Glenn. Or not. Oh, there he is. Okay.
He's on.
All right, Glenn.
Okay.
What you got, brother?
Oh, I got a couple of things. I've got a little bowl that I had turned. It's a little one. It's out of ash, and it's about a 4-inch bowl, but it had a lot of different nice grain to it. And so
yeah, it's beautiful.
So I had turned this little one, and then the only other thing I had been for SWAT, we supposed to be turning some interesting lidded boxes. So I said, well, I'll turn something interesting for myself. So I turned me a little lidded box.
Cool.
It's about the size of a quarter.
Oh my goodness.
Cool. And I decided
that is neat.
I decided to do that, and it's got a suction fit on the lid. So
there you go.
Man. You're a mad man.
I like it.
There went the lid.
that is cool. That was cool.
But no, it was just something I thought, well, I'm going to try and turn something a little small one, but I may try and even turn even a smaller one. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, turn one that fits inside that one.
I don't know about that small, but it'll be close.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Nice job.
What's a candy bowl? One M&M.
The little mini M&Ms.
Yeah.
Would fit. So, but
3 of them in the mini M&Ms.
but that's all I got.
What'd you use?
Nice.
What'd you use to turn it with?
I just used a like a 3/8 spindle gouge.
Yeah.
And hollowing it out, all I did is use a drill bit. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Very cool.
Well, I think Matt's got something he's wanting to show. I saw him put his piece up to the camera.
Well, I was just testing to see how it looked. But I just added a couple rows of dots. That's all.
Oh, well, show us your progress. If I know you was working on it during the meeting. Spotlight yourself.
I did, didn't I?
No.
No.
Put me on.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, when you move that around, Matt, the center of it almost becomes 3D. It's kind of neat
Very
looking.
3D.
Well,
Yeah.
it is 3D because I made the center is engraved. So with the laser. So
But I mean, it comes out more than just say a 16th of an inch. The appearance is a lot more than that.
Almost
So
yeah,
holographic.
there's a couple of cool things that happen with this. This is sort of an experiment. So first thing I would say is that in retrospect, I'd put a contrasting color in the middle like silver instead of what I put in there. Okay, which was the dust, the chameleon dust. The second cool thing was that the laser leaves a very small ridge in there in the wood inside where it engraves, and that really enhances the chameleon effect. There's these little tiny ridges in the bottom of the laser engraving, and it really enhanced the chameleon dust effect. So there's a lot to be said for this. There's a lot to explore on this. So
looking forward to more there, Matt. Looking forward to more.
Well, I've got at least 25 different designs in some way or another to put on tops of things like this, and at least 5 or 6 different techniques that I haven't even tried yet that are in the back of my head. So,
gotcha.
Good.
You're incredible.
Very good.
So it's fun because it's like it's because one thing leads to another. It's like, okay, what is it? What will happen if I do this? And then I do something, and it's like, I could do this next time. You know what I mean? So it's all cool. So.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool.
All right. Well, that brings us to the top of the hour. What a meeting we had tonight. Real great demo.
Yes, we did.
Whole buttload of good gallery tonight. Very, very thought-provoking pieces that were shown. And of course, I forgot to mention what the August challenge was going to be. So we'll have to wait till next Wednesday when everybody is on, and we'll make the announcement for that next week. Apologies on that, I forgot. But with that, we'll call this the end of the main meeting, and thank everybody for turning out and showing up. Tell a friend, bring a friend, and we'll see you next week. Be safe in the shop.